Welcome. What's good in the hood? Welcome to another episode of Conspiracy the Future. I'm your host, Stuart. You can call me Stewie Do It because I stay doing and moving. And you see the title today. We're about to take a deep dive into this brother Polight, pro-black predator, also Oprah. We're gonna make some connections. I think you guys are gonna be surprised because Oprah can do no harm. You get a car, you get a car, you get a child, you get a child trafficker. Anyways, but before we get into that, we're going to loop back to this globalist, build back better Maui land grab that we were discussing in the last episode. Okay. I want to show you the natives are on to the gig is up. It's up. Let's get right into it.
Very pertinent question to ask, how do we build back better?
To build back better or whatever.
We have a chance to reset the clock and build back better than before.
To build back better than before.
Remember the terrible damage of COVID as we try to build back from this global pandemic.
Joe Biden calls it build back better.
Build back better.
Building back better.
To do things differently. To build back better.
We're going to build it back better.
And build it back better.
My plan to build back better.
Start taking all the problems that have been created in education and mental health and start to build back in a positive way.
I have launched a booklet called Build Back Better, written after coronavirus.
It's about building this country back better.
Growing conspiracy following it. It is called the Great Reset.
An unprecedented opportunity to rethink and reset the ways in which we live.
The great opportunity for reset.
The theory even calls Mr. Biden's campaign slogan.
As you can see there, that is the Build Back Better gang. These are the globalists who intend to take your rights away and make you a wage slave. But for the sake of this conversation, we're talking about the Maui tragedy. They're grabbing the land in Maui to build their 15-minute cities, and the locals are on to them. Oh, damn it. One second. I'm getting there. Sorry about that. Yes. So they have come to steal the land from the natives in Maui. We've already discussed this in the last episode, but let me show you. The natives have figured it out. They're on to them. They're on to them. The gig is up. But is there anything they can do about it? Maybe there is. But first, we must inform. You must know. You got to see who these people are. That's why I played that intro for you. Oh, sorry about that. Let me. Yeah. This is a native Maui resident. He's a teacher, and they're about to go in. Let's go. What the fuck? Let's go.
Chapter 46, collective bargaining was rescinded. School impact fees collective bargaining was rescinded, and to my knowledge, this was the first emergency proclamation in the country that didn't have a preceding incident. Normally it's like a hurricane, boom, we got an emergency proclamation. But this was just, from my knowledge, was just to streamline development on Maui, and it is allocated all decision-making power to one person, the housing officer of the governor, Nani Medeiros, who's unelected, who can trump every single thing that you do and everything that you say and every item that we cover without any input from the community, without any public discourse, without the Sunshine Law. Before I go to my, tomorrow, I love what you said, Lahaina's not for sale, please include us. But I don't see that happening. And I was able to meet with Nani Medeiros. I graciously invited her into my home in order to speak with teachers from the burned down King Kamehameha, the third elementary, and their own homes. And they're moving forward they're meeting with developers, private landowners, and not a lot of community unless you know how to maneuver correctly. So before I go to my next item, I would just like to ask each council member to let me know, are you in favor of this emergency proclamation that takes away Sunshine Law, collective bargaining, all your power in decision making? I would like it if you did me a kindness, and before I go on to the next item that I want to testify on, who's in favor of that? Because I have serious concerns.
Mr. Huey.
As you can see there, local is expressing his concerns with the plans that the governor had already set into place prior to the fire that allocated the land that was burned for workforce housing. Also, a transportation hub. But they're on to them. They're not fooling anybody. Let's hear.
A thousand people could come up here and say that they want something. I mean, the way it looks, you guys just go.
Department of Planning, DLNR, DBED.
Sorry about that. I'm trying to get to the right place. There we go.
Is your name listed as a stakeholder of any of the redevelopment plans regarding a smart city? I can tell you, Department of Planning, DLNR, DBED, Housing, all of these agencies, and I'm not saying to you directly, but you're here representing these agencies, therefore, it is your responsibility to tell the truth. Each one of these agencies have signed on as stakeholders for the redevelopment of a smart city in Maui.
Just want to remind you guys that you guys work for us. You guys work for us. I don't know if you guys forget. You know, 1,000 people could come up here and say that they want something. I mean, the way it looks, you guys just go with what is going to further your political career. It's just like we come here to talk about something and then you guys start fighting back with us. You work for us. You don't talk to your boss like that, right? Who talks to their boss like that? Nobody talks to their boss like that. Oh, you cannot go talk to him because he got security. Look at Josh Green, how weak, man. What happened? I came in.
Josh Green, the governor. I've been telling you about that slime ball.
What? He got to go check his BVDs? What is going on? He's supposed to go. He's supposed to.
Please not that. Let's not do that. This is not that kind of a meeting. It's not a political meeting or campaign meeting.
Yeah, no,
this is serious business.
Are you saying that? That is very
That's Nani. That is the housing development manager for the Build Beyond Barrier, which is the emergency housing proclamation that the governor had issued 3 weeks prior to the fire. So she's a non-elected official that is making decisions for the locals' land.
That really bothers me. You're not being a waiter. You don't.
Mind you, she's making these decisions without the input of the locals.
Serious business.
Are you saying that? That is very that really bothers me. You're not being a waiter. You talk to your boss like that. I'm your boss. And for real, these people, they are your boss. Shame is when you do something behind everybody's back. Enough is enough, huh? No. More.
Mind you, I'm not sure if you recognize, but that is UFC champion BJ Penn.
No. More screwing over the people of Hawaii. More, how much? I'm not going to say it again. I'm going to talk about Green. That's your guy's leader. He's not even here. He's the guy. He only signs the bill to further his political career. So what is next? He go for president, and that's what you guys look for. Oh, that's the guy I look up to, the guy who screws everybody over to get to the top.
I've given testimony so many times, and most of the time, it's like this: backs are turned. People don't listen. You look like you're sleeping. Where's the emotion? Where's your heart? And when you think about these actions, when you think about the work you do, think about all those people like this guy on his phone right now. It's insulting. It's insulting. Do not forget the people. And Green's actions right there, getting taken out by his handler, come on, guys. I saw all your faces. I think some of you were shocked too, except for the people whispering in the front, because he warned you he was going to walk away. You want to know why? Because he never wants to hear our voices. He wants to silence us every time. He does not listen. I'm asking all of you at this table to make sure he listens. But we know very well that you guys, as the third largest stakeholder,
They're not listening because they have an agenda. It's a global agenda, and you don't have enough money to stop it. That's the problem.
third largest stakeholders, the state, do want that land and can take it when you deem it a natural disaster. And that is disgusting. And that is why I'm also here today, because someone needs to call that out. We wanted the samples right away. You guys stopped the people from going in.
When she said samples, the locals wanted soil samples. There's a lot of funny biz with that fire. I've been going into it in prior episodes. I didn't go too deep, but I mentioned direct energy weapons as the cause of the fire. That's a really deep conspiracy theory, but not far-fetched. And the reason why is because the fires don't look natural. The asphalt didn't burn, yet the rims of the cars did. Cars that were in grass fields with no trees around them, melted engine blocks. It doesn't add up. So they wanted soil samples to investigate to see if there was any accelerant that helped propel this fire, fuel this fire, being that there wasn't enough fuel to create the temperatures needed to melt car blocks.
I know it says on there on the door, there is no placards or no signs, but isn't that very, so much contradictions that you can't have a sign, you can't have a voice. They're like loopholes on paper written by developers and those that are in charge that make the.
Oh, mind you, nor are you allowed to fly drones over the burn area. You're not allowed to take pictures in the burn area. They're not allowing the residents back to their home, regardless if it burnt or not. We've discussed all this, but let's run through it. We have a lot more to get into it. I just wanted to show you guys that the natives are not stupid, and they see how we saw when we saw the future.
Decisions for the state, for the different counties. I've been in this meeting and I've heard developers say the loopholes. They know how to work around it on paper to get things passed through. So Lahaina strong, people over profit. So how we're going to first do this, in order to really get anything done for this working group to work, we first need to have the leader,
step down.
Josh Green, remove himself so that
Nani, the housing the housing development manager for the Build Back Beyond Barriers group, has stepped down. So, yo, the neighbors are making some serious ground right now. The governor still hasn't stepped down. The mayor hasn't stepped down. The police chief hasn't stepped down. All of which are seriously negligent in this fire, in the response to this fire. But hey, it's a start. It's a start. The Build Back Beyond Barriers manager has stepped down. The unelected official has stepped down.
real change can take place.
What all of you have forgotten here, including the governor, who walked out of this office before he could hear public hearing, this emergency proclamation is a fall.
This is about unity, and this is about coming together and fighting for the rights of the people. Climate change does not exist, okay?
Excuse me. Okay, I appreciate your comments again.
She got it in. Climate change does not exist. I don't know if that's true, but I can say with not 100% certainty, with great confidence, that man-made climate change doesn't exist or is so minute, minuscule, unnoticeable, not powerful enough to create fires that melt cars.
and I do, but we really need to stick to the items on the agenda. It is
I don't care
11:10.
about your agenda. You know what? Your agenda can kiss my ass, okay?
She's the one. That's the one right there. She's the GOAT. I got a couple more of these. Here we go. Let's see.
The senator from Hawaii.
Mr. President, last month, on August 8th, people on Maui experienced one of the worst days of their lives. What started as a
That's not what we wanted to watch.
That's what everybody wants to be, is on TV. Come stand with the people. You guys' job and obligation is to serve the people of Hawaii, to ensure that we still stay in this place we call home.
This is a lawsuit that was put on you yesterday at 4:35 p.m.
Oh, thank
it's
you.
a quorum that's supposed to be limiting your powers, questioning the validity of this entire group. People,
They're not off. They're not going for it. They're not going for it.
We basically want accountability of people who are responsible for this, and they should be held liable for this. People should be held liable for this because this is gross negligence. We want accountability of people, that electric company, the police. Why did the police block people from coming and exiting? The police was blocking the road. Hundreds of people were backed up there with people in their cars, and a lot of people lost their lives. The police officer that was over there, he should be investigated. It needs to be investigated by a third party that is not associated with the government. People in Lahaina are angry. We don't trust the government because of what has happened. I'm an attorney, and I question, there's so many things that are questionable that has happened here. We still don't trust the government. We're wondering what's on those documents for FEMA. I don't know what's on the documents myself. And we're afraid to sign documents because right after that, the governor says, oh, I'm going to take the land. The state wants to purchase all this land. Who the hell does he think that he should get this land?
One more. You see, they're highly pissed. Very, very pissed. Oh, I think I lose this one. I lost this one. Let me see if I can find it for you real fast. If not, we'll just move on. Twitter be doing that shit. Maybe I have a video queued up and just refresh it, and then it disappears. I don't think I'm gonna. Shit. Here it is.
Military personnel are currently occupying all the entrances into the burnt down community and not allowing residents to visit their own homes. I was only able to get in by climbing a fence and barricade out of view of guards.
The military. We have illegal immigrants flooding over the border, going crazy right now with no protection of the border. Yet the military has come to make sure the residents of the fire burned area do not come back to their house. What kind of fuck shit is that?
Locals have been told
Excuse
by
my
different
language.
authorities that these troops are Hawaiian, but the community doesn't entirely believe that. They think the US government is specifically sending Asian, dark-skinned troops to Lahaina to keep the peace. Because if these troops were Caucasian or white, locals would get the sense that they're under occupation or siege.
You know, we have a lot of Hawaiian people goes in the military. They're stationed elsewhere, mainland. But to control the peace on here, they try to get all the Hawaiian people, local skin, brown skin, look Hawaiian, to come and barricade or do their watch so that way it will keep peace with the local people. Right now, the local people are very angry what's going on, especially with white people right now. If they see any white people, any mainland people, military, you think they're gonna stand there and say, "Hi, brother"? They're gonna go and want to start a war. So I think the government did this to protect, to have peace, but yet fool the local people that they are military from Hawaii. I heard from my uncle's mouth, who is from Washington, said they're sending a lot of troops, military troops, to Hawaii.
So they're looking for troops from the mainland that look Hawaiian.
Yes, that's my guess. Because you look everywhere you go, they all look like they're local. Local. I had never seen not one colored or white skin. A lot of local.
Cars and makeshift aid tents flew the upside down Hawaiian flag, a symbol of a nation, not
I just wanted to show you the natives are not playing right now. They're on to the gig. They know what the globalists are up to. It's a land grab. It's basically at war with their own government who have come to take over their land, using Hollywood stars to kind of prop them up and make them seem and humanize them. But like I showed you, they're not. The natives are not to be fooled. We even got an Oprah over here. $2.5 billion Oprah. Got all the audacity in the world to be doing what she's doing right now, which is begging for money, which is kind of odd when you think
Hollywood's biggest stars.
We've been meeting with community leaders, our Kapuno, for the past couple of weeks.
we're going to tie Oprah into this. She's got a lot to do with this. Okay. This wasn't mentioned in previous episodes, but we're going to make some connections. I'm going to tie this shit together for you. Oprah Slimeball.
Weeks, and just trying to figure out what we could do.
Oprah and The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, coming together to aid communities impacted by the wildfires, launching a fund with an initial donation of $10 million, but also asking for more help.
In this time of need, you want to take care of the.
Mind you, I did the math on that. Oprah's worth $2.5 billion. That's 2,500 millions. Okay. She gave 10. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Her and Rock split that. So she gave 5 million, which is 0.02% of her net worth. She makes that in a couple months. Yet she's asking for donations from people like me and you. Hey, I'm broke as fuck. Shit.
You want to take care of the greatest need of the people.
I would love to help. I can't afford it. You got $2.5 million, Oprah. Billion. You own thousands, over 1,000 acres of land. What a coincidence. And we're going to tie this into Oprah.
And that's giving them money.
The two reflecting on the devastation of the fires.
Oh, mind you, none of Oprah's land was touched on Maui. None of it. None of it. What a coincidence. Her house. Oh, also, you see the first video that I showed you of the Build Back Better globalists? A lot of those people in that montage or in that video have houses in Maui which were untouched by the fire. What a coinkydink.
Oprah lives here in Maui. I was raised in these islands. My family are buried in these islands. It's going to take a long time to rebuild. Probably get a little worse before it gets a little better, but we're here doing what we could do.
All this as Maui is reeling, but working to rebuild. Weeks after the fires ripped through the historic town of Lahaina. Search and rescue crews have all but finished their operations, while the death toll still officially stands at 115, the same it's been for weeks. With
115 dead. However, there are estimated 1,000 people still missing, a lot of which were kids. Okay. Now this is where we start to tie this into Oprah. Okay. There's been reports that 14 school buses are missing and hundreds of children unaccounted for. So where are these kids? Where are they? As you can see there, 1,300 people still missing. Okay. Let's see. Now, this is where the conspiracy comes in regarding Oprah. I have an article to read for you guys regarding Oprah's school in Africa. If you're not familiar, Oprah has a girls' school in Africa that she opened in 2007, I believe. $46 million she invested. Why she opened it in Africa? I have questions. Let's get into this article. Been hearing about this for years. Oprah School. Okay, mind you, SK Pop. See, when you have $2.5 billion and you're a globalist and have the power of the globalist, you're able to scrub the internet. So you're not going to find any articles from any reputable sources. And what's reputable now, anyways? I've shown you in previous episodes that the mainstream media is scripted. So please disregard the SK Pop. Let's get into it. Been hearing about this fierce. Oprah School for Girls missing conspiracy takes the internet, leaves users skeptical. Okay. Oprah's former scandal has strangely reappeared in the limelight. The phrase Oprah's school missing girls went viral recently with the TV personality's older South African school controversy being brought to the surface. Several netizens have gotten into a debate as whether the girls from the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls are safe. Some claim that multiple students have mysteriously disappeared. The popular television producer has not addressed the matter in recent days, reacting to the ongoing rumors. One netizen wrote online, "For those unversed with the 69." Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought we were gonna. Okay. Reacted to the ongoing rumors. One netizen wrote online. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Okay. For those unversed, the 69-year-old founded the Oprah Winfrey Leadership School for Girls in South Africa in 2007. This comes after she had talks with Nelson Mandela about the looming poverty in the country. The $46 million boarding school then came into being with a 52-acre campus that includes several amenities. Recently, rumors have been spreading like a wildfire. The Maui wildfire? Anyways, that several students from the Educational Institute went missing. Twitter user at J. Tyler Skinner alerted netizens about the same. She also claimed that the tweets were posted by several shady accounts. However, this has not been verified. Let's keep on reading. Internet users flooded the social media platform wondering what happened to the South African girls. At the time of the writing this article, no news publications have announced that the institution was dealing with a case of missing women. Hence, it remains unclear as to where the speculation about the missing girls began. Netson continued to conspire about the supposed missing girls. A few tweets read, "Y'all know Oprah had a school for girls and all of them came up missing." Okay, these are just tweets. Let's get on. Oprah's school scandal. Okay, this is another scandal. Oprah's school hit with other scandals. Okay, Oprah's school was scandalous. There's so many foul things that were going on at that school. Okay, let's say that what we just read above is false. Disregard it. Okay, conspiracy theory. This is just a theory, okay? I'm trying to put this shit together for you guys, all right? Let's continue with this. I want to show you how scandalous that school was. Okay, let's go. This is not the first time the television host has had to deal with a scandal related to the school. In 2011, law enforcement investigated a body of a newborn that was found in the student's bag, in one of the student's bags. They confirmed that the 17-year-old girl gave birth at the institution. No charges were filed against the girl. Shortly after the school opened in 2007, the school matron, Virginia Tiny Macapo, was charged with sexually molesting several of the girls. Okay. This is Oprah's school, and this is who she hired. So let's assume, let's just come on, just go with me on this one. You hired the leader of the school who molests girls. Okay. Let's, can you say groomer? Did Oprah hire a groomer to groom the girls at the school? I don't know. Let's see. When the crime came to light, Winfrey went on to fire the school's head mistress, Lorado no Mayao. I can't say these. Mazame. Oprah has also said in the statement, nothing is more serious or devastating to me than an allegation of misconduct by an adult against any girl at the academy. I will do anything within my power to ensure the safety and the well-being. Well, Oprah, we don't believe you. In 2009, the Education Institute was rocked with another sex scandal. 7 of the girls were suspended for sexually harassing their students. The New York Daily News also reported that the alleged perpetrators also attempted to entice their classmates into lesbian encounters. A South African news outlet also revealed that one of the 15-year-old girls demanded that her victims lie to the police about what happened. Oprah Winfrey has sadly been a victim of sexual assault. She revealed that she was raped by her 19-year-old cousin when she was just a teenager. She has also shared that she was sexually abused by her mother's ex-boyfriend. See, now we're getting somewhere. Hurt people, hurt people. Hurt people, hurt people. Well, look at here. We're all familiar with Harvey Weinstein, aren't we? Oprah's bestie, sexual predator. Okay. Oprah has a lot of sexual predator friends. She's always in the circle of sexual predators. How is she always falling into this hole of predators? Here's another one. Just so you know, this is a separate outfit. This is a different day. Still hugged up with predator Harvey Weinstein. There's multiple pictures of her hugged up with behind. Oh, there we go. Here goes another one. Let's look at that. What about this one? What about this one? What about this one? Kissing Harvey Weinstein in the neck. She really loves the predator. Mind you, this is a convicted predator. This isn't a conspiracy no more. He's convicted of the crime. She's hugged up with this dude. That's just one. Let's see what else we got. There we go. We got the picture. I think there's another article I wanted to read. I think that article pretty much touched up on it. Oh, here's another one. John of God. If you're not familiar with John of God, I got a little video for you, but let me touch you up. John of God is a proclaimed healer. He's a religious healer. This is what he claims to be. Oprah, great friends with them, interviewed her on his show, interviewed him on his show. Okay. But what you don't know, if you don't know, is that John of God is one of the worst predators. He is a predator of the worst type. Okay. John of God was using his position to get women, and then he would chain them up, impregnate them, and sell their children for organs. Don't take my word for it. This isn't a conspiracy. John of God is in prison right now. That's Oprah's homie. Look, we got it right here. Here, that's her. That's her homie. John of God in prison right now for sex trafficking and taking babies for their organs. Hey, bro, you cannot write this shit. If this was a movie, it would be a hit. They won't make a movie about it though, because Oprah has got too much pull. How much pull does she have? $2.5 billion worth of pull. But listen to her own words.
Somebody you admire, somebody you respect, or maybe even love. And it feels good. I mean, if you're 7 years old and somebody, which I was trying to say this to my friends who had children, you're 7 years old and someone is stroking your penis, it feels good. Right. Even though you don't have a name for what that is, it feels good. And when I first said this years ago, people were like, you're crazy, because everybody wants to believe it's like sexual assault and you're being thrown up against the wall and you're being raped. And I have said for years, if the abuser is any good, you won't even know it's happened.
I'm telling you, you guys think I'm just trying to put shit together that don't go together. Yo, you gotta read between the lines. Read between the lines. This shit goes deep. How far? We're at 37 minutes. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up on this Oprah. You know, I don't think I need to make any more connections. I'm gonna dig deeper on further on episodes in the future, but for now, let's jump into this brother Polight. This pro-black predator is amongst the worst. He is amongst the worst of predators. Okay, I'm familiar with this gentleman. Before he caught this charge, I used to catch him on YouTube, and he's I don't want to say a great debater, but he's always arguing in semantics. He's a pro-black, what do they call it? Well, he's a Egyptianite, or he believes that black people come from, I don't know. But what we do know is homie is a diabolical predator. Just recently sentenced to 7 years. Throw this dude under the jail. Under the jail. He's being, it's alleged, well, not anymore. It's not alleged. He's been convicted. But that he was molesting or raped his 14-year-old girlfriend, his girlfriend's 14-year-old daughter. Okay. It's been said that he forced alcohol down her throat and drugged her up. Okay. Now, this isn't a conspiracy. And y'all aren't going to like what I have to say about this. But I want to get into the mother of the 14-year-old victim, who's also trying to play as a victim. But I'd argue that she's a predator as well. Let's listen to what she has to say.
Yourself. You plotted on me and my little girl. The entire time you knew what you planned to do. Isolate, intoxicate, then violate my baby. Shame on you. I trusted you to bring her right back. You were supposed to bring her back the same way that you took her.
bring her back. Listen to how she said that. I trusted you to bring her right back. Where did you give permission for him to take her? Why? Why did you give this man permission? Your boyfriend? You're giving your boyfriend permission to leave with your 14-year-old daughter while you're on vacation? Does that even make any sense? Excuse me. Does that even make any sense? Sounds like sex trafficking. She knew Brother Polight has nice cars, nice house, lots of money, and she let her daughter go unsupervised with this man. Tell me that's just some funny, phony business. Hey, this is one reason why. You know what? Let me get into this. Let's get back into
I
this.
trusted you to bring her right back. You were supposed to bring her back the same way that you took her. Instead, you drugged her and took advantage of her. You sexually abused her. You forced alcohol down her throat. You then
Drugged her and forced alcohol down her throat. See, he's a predator, and I would not put anything past him. Okay. But my question is, 7 years for forcibly drugging, forcing alcohol, and having sex with a passed out girl? 7 years. No. Passed out underage girl. No, that's worth at least 20 years. That's worth at least 20 years. And you need to be put on the Megan's Law list of sex offenders. You need to register as a sex offender for the rest of your life. But if you listen to this, you're going to find out that that's not the case.
forced her to see things that no child should ever have to see. You forced her to feel things that no child should have to feel. You forced her to accept violence that no child should ever have to endure. You forced drugs in her that no human should ever even enjoy.
I want to know the details on how drugs and alcohol were forced down her throat. Mind you, I feel real bad for this 14-year-old girl. You know, her mother did not protect her. Okay. Men, if you have a daughter and you are not with that child's mother, go get your daughter. Get your daughter. Do not let me stop.
Jess, she's my child. My baby. How could you? You could have killed her with all the drugs that was found in her system.
You allowed her to leave with him. Why? Why? I don't care if the dude is a pastor at the church, a saint. My 14-year-old daughter is not going with no random dude, period. See, I'm so glad I don't have kids.
You thought your master plan was mapped out perfectly, huh? You thought I'd be dumb enough to believe you over my child. And you thought that money would blind me. You thought I was going to be so blinded that I wouldn't notice when you returned her with bruises all over her body and her.
You thought the money would blind me. What money? I think the money did blind you, which is why you allowed this man to leave with your daughter. You were blinded by his money, his fancy cars. You pretty much trafficked your daughter to this dude. Now, this dude's fucking heinous. He put him under the jail 40 years. Okay. But let's talk about this mom. Can we get a child neglect charge? Can we get some charges on her? Some sex trafficking charges? Something. Some child sex trafficking?
You thought I was going to be so blinded that I wouldn't notice when you returned her with bruises all over her body and her mouth busted, uncontrollably shaking. Absolutely nothing.
See, I don't have any proof of this. This is my conspiracy, the future. Okay. How come no one goes in on female predators? No one. Teachers that be having sex with their students. No one goes in on This woman is a predator as well. There's no way in hell you can convince me that this woman did not have any idea what was going to happen when he allowed this man, who also he is a polygamist who has multiple wives, okay, at the time, okay. There is no way you can convince me that you had no idea what was going to happen to your daughter when you let her out of sight with this man on such some lame conditions, some lame excuse for him to leave with your daughter, and you did not go with them. You need to go under the jail.
And although you executed your plan and you got what you wanted those couple of hours, you actually failed. Because look where you're at right now. You have created
He's where you should be too.
a lifetime of trauma for my daughter and I.
A lifetime of trauma for my daughter and I. So she's turned herself into a victim when she's the one that victimized her daughter. She's the one that set her daughter in the line of fire. Put her in the lion's den with this man to devour her. This predator. Both of them are predators. Both.
Before you, we never knew evil existed. You brought so much evil into our lives that early morning. And I'll never forget. I called you like 50 times and you wouldn't answer me.
Okay. After calling you about 3 times, the next phone call is going to be to the police. Why was it your next phone call after you called called her, waited about 10 minutes? She said hours. It would take about 10 minutes, 20, 30 minutes max from out the door looking for you on the phone with the police. Where's my daughter? Why didn't you do that? Now you're the victim. Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me, is that you sex trafficked your daughter. This man went way beyond the conditions of the contract of your sex trafficking. So therefore, at that point, it was time for you then to notify the police, which is sad.
I called her too when you took her phone. You drugged my baby. You gave her no way to seek help. You left me no way to contact her or even know where she was. I get physically sick now whenever I'm away from my daughter because of you. Something as simple as her going to school, I'm in panic mode.
Well, let's see. Going to school is a lot different than leaving from a hotel room while on vacation with your boyfriend. Okay? Not your husband, not the child's father. Some dude that impressed you with his money. You're going to allow him to leave with your daughter? It's different than your daughter going to school. Chill out. See, she's trying to play the victim, which tells me that she's actually more involved than she's letting off.
Because I'm scared when she comes back, she's going to be hurt all over again. I constantly have flashbacks of that night. And what she lives with is not okay. She feels uncomfortable around people and will live with this forever, and this is not fair to her. She never deserved this.
She didn't deserve this. Which is why I ask, why did you let her leave with him?
On you for forcing evil on our youth. And you know, for a year, I questioned, how could you even do this to us? Her and I did nothing wrong to you. We trusted you. I moved across the country because I believed everything that you told me.
She moved across the country and brought her daughter. See, I'm gonna say it again. Men, go get your daughters from your baby mama. Go get them. We all saw what happened to Boozy lately. Boozy. Is that his name? The rapper Boozy, who was getting into it with his daughter. She just threw him under the bus. She called him all kind of bitch ass niggas. Yeah, that's just one example, okay? Let's get another example. R. Kelly. Now, R. Kelly, again, diabolical, scheming predator, goes underneath the jail. Leave him there. But let's talk about the women who dropped their daughters off with him. sex trafficked their daughters to this man with no consequence. And now they're calling themselves victims. See, when are we going to start calling out the female predators? When are we going to start doing that?
But it was pure manipulation I see now. All you do is specialize in selling false dreams. How can you do this to an innocent child and mother who simply trusted you? We did nothing wrong. But you know what? I'm done breaking my head trying to question or figure out how you could do such a thing. It's so simple to me now. You're just a sick man.
I agree.
You can have a plethora of women.
And as you are a sick woman for allowing this man to leave with your daughter.
But you secretly prefer to have a child. And it's so clear now. I will never.
That is kind of odd. When I used to see this guy on the Instagram, he's in the pro-black community. He'd always be debating with the Hebrew Israelites. And one thing I always noticed is he always had a baddie grown woman with him. Super beautiful, dark, light skin, natural hair. Always had a baddie with him. And yet, he preys on one of his baddies' daughters. Man, this is crazy, man. He's only got 7 years for this, which makes me question. I know you guys are like, forced drugs and alcohol down your daughter's throat and only get 7 years. I question that. I think, we don't want to put this on your daughter. I'm going to put this on you. We're going to put this on you. And this is the episode of Conspira-See-The-Future. So we're going to see the future of this, okay? This man is going to get out in about 6 years. He's going to serve about 85% of his time in Florida. Okay? 6 years. You're going to go on to write a book and get all kinds of money off of your daughter's tragedy that you allowed to happen with no consequence. That's what I see in the future. That's my conspiracy, the future for this one. But there's a little bit more of a one to hear you guys. I wanted you guys to hear.
Be able to fully trust another person doing the betrayal that you've shown me. And for that, I was not willing to trust 6 strangers and go to trial. Nor was I going to put my daughter through additional trauma. This plea was in our best interest. You and I both know the evidence is extremely substantial.
So, it sounds like she had the prosecutors, she okayed the prosecutors to offer him a deal, which consists of 7 years in prison and not having to register as a sex offender. What good did you do, society? You let this man off easy. You allowed this man to get off easy. Why? I think I know why. I believe you had some involvement in this.
But even with that, I refuse to have my child be tormented when she's done nothing wrong. All she holds is the truth. And I will say this. Although you were so worried about being labeled a sex offender, you did us a huge favor by admitting to guilt, period. So for that, I thank you. I truly thank you. Yes, mitigation took place, and I allowed it as long as it meant you going to prison and you getting true help. Because true help means no more victims. The fact that your only non-negotiable was to accept a sex crime shows exactly the type of man that you are.
True help doesn't mean no more victims. This man can get out and get right back at it. What would have really prevented more victims is ensuring that he doesn't get back out and get back right at it. Or ensuring that when he does get out, he's on a list and tracked to wherever he lives, he has to register. That would add more insurance to him not doing this again to anyone else. Yet, you let him off easy. Why? I already told you why. You had involvement.
You know what you did in that hotel room. I know what you did, and my daughter knows what you did. DNA doesn't lie. There's no reason why your DNA should have been found on my baby. And yes, I satisfied your bogus request to not be labeled a sex offender, but it doesn't take away from who you truly are.
She satisfied his bogus request to not be labeled a sex offender. How did you let him get off? Why did you satisfy that bogus request? Throw this man into the jail.
I wasn't going to waste any time going back and forth with you over a label. God will judge you for exactly the person he knows you to be, a sexual predator. So rest assured, jail time equals jail times. And I pray that during your 10 years of sex offender probation, you actually receive the treatment that you need, and it helps heal your sick mind and get the thoughts of being with children out of it. All you care about is your pretend image, but I know exactly who you are now. You want to be this public figure, but you want to do all your evil acts in secret. You're so self-centered. That's why the last time I saw you on February 27, 2021, you fought me. You tried to hold me hostage from taking my daughter to the hospital. I'll never forget that cowardly look in your eyes. I'll never forget it. You were so...
So, after he came back, hours later, which you should have already called the police, you didn't immediately call the police when you saw the condition your daughter was in? Immediately. Not go to the police station. We calling the police. The police are going to come here and arrest your ass. That's what we doing. Matter of fact, we ain't even calling the police. I'll take that back. If this is my daughter, we ain't calling them. Ain't nobody calling the police. You just gonna show her missing, buddy. You gonna show her missing.
Scared. You were so scared because you realized you messed with the wrong one. Your last words to me, you held me and said, please.
Nope. Actually, he got the right one. He got the right one. He found himself the mother who has a daughter who is willing to let him have relations with his daughter. Man, wow, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. Throw this bitch in jail.
Please don't go. You're gonna ruin my career. Well, today, September 6th, 2023, my last words to you are, I hope the next 17 years of your life, you're reminded of the disgusting, terrifying, unforgettable act that you've done to my innocent daughter. Shame on you.
I think that's enough of that. You heard that. I'm not defending this man, as you can see. This dude is, I didn't like this dude before he did it. I don't like him after. I just ask questions, and I can't just believe the narrative all the time. This lady is also in the wrong. She's guilty. Just like the women that dropped their children off at R. Kelly's house. Guilty. Let's start holding these female predators just as accountable as we are the male predators. Okay? Equal rights. Let's get equal jail time. Okay? At least a negligence charge. Child neglect. Child endangerment. Some type of charge. They just take her story as gold. But no. There's more to this. Definitely more to this. And as more comes to light, we're going to dive back into this one. All right. But I think we're going to wrap this episode of Conspira-See the Future up for today. Okay. I think we dived in deep enough. On the Oprah situation, we're gonna dive way deeper into that one. We're gonna take a knife dive into that one. There's more to be found. Okay, Oprah. She is not the philanthropist that you guys all know and believe. But that's going to be it for this episode of Conspira-See the Future. Tune in for our next episode where we touch up on potential globalists, we'll call it that, potential globalists, and Republican candidate Vivek, man, the dude seems too good to be true. We'll get into that on the next episode. Look up the guy Vivek so you have a little understanding. So when we touch up on it, you'll know what we're talking about. But the dude's a GOAT. But for now, we're going to go ahead and call this one Done Dada. Still, we do it out the building. Thank you for tuning in to Conspiracy the Future.